Have you ever wondered about a love story that transcended the human realm and involved divine beings? Today, we delve into the tale of Ngok Hoa, Son Tin, and Thuy Tin. In a time long past when myths and legends shaped the world, a tale of love and rivalry unfolded in the royal court of King Hung. His daughter, the beautiful and virtuous Ngok Hoa, had come of age. The king, wanting nothing but the best for his beloved child, decided it was time to find a suitable match for her. The news of the princess's eligibility spread far and wide, reaching the ears of the divine beings. Two of them, Son Tin and Thuy Tin, decided to vie for the princess's hand. Son Tin, the mountain spirit, was known for his strength and wisdom. He was a being of the earth, steadfast and reliable. Thuy Tin, on the other hand, was the water spirit, known for his fluidity and adaptability. He was as changeable as the sea and as deep. Both suitors were extraordinary, each possessing powers beyond human comprehension. The king was in a quandary, for both were equally worthy of his daughter's hand. But the choice was not easy. How could he choose between the strength of the mountains and the depth of the seas? How could he weigh the wisdom of the earth against the adaptability of water? In his wisdom, the king decided not to choose. Instead, he decided to let fate intervene. He set a challenge for the suitors, a test of their determination and resourcefulness. The suitor who could bring the most lavish gifts to the court the earliest would marry the princess. And so the stage was set for a competition between two divine beings. A competition that would decide the future of the princess and the fate of the kingdom. The king, torn between the two suitors, decided to let fate intervene. In a bid to decide between the two divine suitors, the king devised a test of worthiness, a challenge that would determine who was deserving of his daughter's hand. The king's declaration echoed through the royal court, reaching the ears of the eager suitors, Son Tin and Thuy Tin. The king's conditions were far from ordinary. They were a reflection of the divine nature of the suitors and the high esteem in which he held his daughter. He demanded that the suitors present him with a collection of gifts, each more extravagant than the last. First, there was to be 100 slabs of sticky rice. This was not just any rice, but the finest quality, the grains plump and full of flavor, prepared with the utmost care. The rice was to be compacted into slabs, each one a testament to the suitor's dedication and attention to detail. Next came 200 rice cakes, each one a symbol of prosperity and good fortune. The cakes were to be handcrafted, embodying the suitor's patience and commitment. They were an offering not just to the king, but to the entire kingdom, a promise of abundance and well-being. Then came the truly extraordinary gifts: elephants with 9 tusks, roosters with 9 spurs, and horses with 9 manes. These were creatures of legend, their existence a testament to the suitor's divine capabilities. The animals were symbols of strength, courage, and nobility, traits the king deemed essential in a worthy suitor. The king's decree was met with anticipation. The court buzzed with excitement, wondering who would succeed in this divine race. The stakes were high, the challenge daunting, but the reward was worth the effort. The king's daughter, a prize beyond compare. With the challenge thrown, who would emerge victorious in this divine race for love? The court held its breath, and the suitors prepared for the test of their lives. Only time would tell who was truly worthy. The race was on, a race against time and a race of divine prowess. Now let's delve into how Son Tin, the deity of the mountain, managed to outpace his rival Thuy Tin, the god of the sea. Son Tin, with his intimate knowledge of the terrestrial realm and its resources, had a distinct advantage. The earth was his playground, and he knew every nook and cranny, every hidden treasure it held. His quest for the 100 slabs of sticky rice, 200 rice cakes, the elephants with 9 tusks, the roosters with 9 spurs, and the horses with 9 manes was not an easy task, but Son Tin was determined. He leveraged his godly abilities and his deep understanding of the land to locate each item. The forests, the mountains, the fields, all became his allies in this race against time. With each found item, his confidence grew and his pace quickened. And then, the final item, the horses with 9 manes. Son Tin, using his wit and quick thinking, managed to locate a herd of these magnificent creatures in a secluded mountain valley. With a triumphant smile, he gathered the horses and prepared his journey back to the king. Meanwhile, Thuy Tin, despite his formidable powers over the aquatic realm, struggled to find the requested items. The sea, vast and deep, hid many treasures, but not the ones required for the king's challenge. Time was running out and his chances of winning the princess's hand were slipping away. Sun Tin, bearing all the required gifts, presented them to the king. His quick wit, resourceful nature, and mastery over the terrestrial realm had won him the race. The king, impressed by Sun Tin's dedication and effort, bestowed upon him the honor of becoming his son-in-law, and so Sun Tin became the royal son-in-law. But the story doesn't end there. With Sun Tin's victory, Thuy Tin's rage knew no bounds. The fury within him stirred, a tempestuous sea, matching the watery domain he ruled over. The rejection cut deep, but the sight of Sun Tin emerging victorious was the final blow. He was not one to accept defeat lightly, and certainly not to a rival like Sun Tin. Thuy Tin, in his wrath, decided to wage war against Sun Tin. He summoned his mighty aquatic armies, boasting a formidable power that only a deity of his stature could command. The sea creatures, loyal to their master, rallied to his call, ready to fight for their king's honor. Thus, the stage was set for an epic battle that would echo through the ages. The battle between Thuy Tin and Sun Tin was no ordinary clash of arms. It was a duel between two powerful deities, a spectacle of raw power and unyielding will. The earth shook with their fury, the skies darkened with their rage, and the seas roared with their conflict. The intensity of their battle was such that it shook the very foundations of the world. Sun Tin, the mountain god, stood tall and resolute, his strength and strategy unmatched. He met Thuy Tin's fury head-on, countering each attack with precision and power. His determination to protect his bride and his honor was palpable, and it fueled his resistance against Thuy Tin's relentless onslaught. On the other side, Thuy Tin, the water god, fought with a ferocity fueled by his wounded pride and unrequited love. He unleashed wave after wave of attacks, each more fierce than the last. His forces, though formidable, were gradually exhausted by Sun Tin's unwavering defense. The battle was fierce and long, a testament to the gods' power and their unyielding wills. But in the end, even Thuy Tin's immense rage and power were not enough. Sun Tin's resilience and strategic prowess proved superior, forcing Thuy Tin to accept defeat once again. Despite his rage and formidable power, Thuy Tin was defeated and forced to retreat. But his battle with Sun Tin was far from over, and their rivalry would continue to shape the world in ways unimaginable. The defeat did little to quell Thuy Tin's anger, and an endless battle ensued. As the moon took its place in the sky and the stars began to twinkle, the mighty Thuy Tin rallied his forces once again, his heart ablaze with the fire of revenge. His pride wounded, he refused to accept his defeat quietly. The ocean god was determined to claim his perceived right, the hand of the enchanting Ngok Hoa. Year after year, Thuy Tin challenged Sun Tin, the mountain god, to a duel. The battles were colossal, shaking the very foundations of the earth. The heavens roared with thunder, and the earth trembled under the might of their power. The two gods clashed, their strengths equally matched, their wills just as unyielding. However, the impact of their strife was not limited to them alone. Their battles had repercussions that rippled through the human world. Torrents of water gushed from Thuy Tin's realm, causing floods that swept across the land, devastating villages and towns. The people suffered, their lives tossed into chaos by the wrath of the water god. Yet, despite his best efforts, Thuy Tin found himself bested time and again by Sun Tin. The mountain god stood his ground, his love for Ngok Hoa fueling his resolve. With each defeat, Thuy Tin retreated only to return the following year with renewed determination. The cycle of battles, defeats, and retreats became a perennial tale, a testament to the unwavering determination of Thuy Tin and the steadfast defiance of Sun Tin. The humans, caught in the crossfire of this divine rivalry, learned to adapt, their resilience a testament to their spirit. And so the story of Ngok Hoa, Sun Tin, and Thuy Tin continues, a tale of love, power, and an eternal rivalry.
Imagine a princess refusing to marry, proposing to a commoner instead? Picture this, a royal court buzzing with anticipation, awaiting the eldest princess's marriage. But this is no ordinary princess. This is Princess Tien Dung, a woman known for her fierce independence and a strong will that defies the norms of her time. Born into royalty, Tiandong was expected to follow the traditional path set for her. A lavish wedding, a prince for a husband, a comfortable life behind the palace walls. But Tiandong had other plans. She refused to marry, much to the shock of the court. Her refusal was not a mere act of rebellion. No, it was an affirmation of her belief in choosing her own destiny, a concept quite revolutionary for her time. Now let's shift our gaze from the royal court to the serene setting of Chusha area. Here, away from the hustle and bustle of the palace, the simple life unfolds. Amidst this simplicity, we find Chudong-tu, a commoner eking out a living through fishing. Little did he know that his humble life was about to intertwine with the life of a princess. Chudong-tu's days were spent fishing on the tranquil beach of Chusha, his life far removed from the grandeur of the royal court. His world was about to collide with Princess Tiandong's when her dragon boat, a symbol of her royal lineage, made its way to Chusha. The sound of bells and drums, flutes and flutes, echoed through the air, heralding the arrival of the princess. Chudong-tu, like everyone else, was unaware of what was about to unfold. So here we have our unusual princess and the unsuspecting commoner, their paths about to cross in the most unexpected of ways. It's the beginning of a tale that defies norms and challenges conventions. A tale that redefines what it means to be royal, what it means to be common. Little did Chudong-tu know his life was about to change forever. Have you ever found yourself in the wrong place at the right time? Imagine a young man named Chudong-tu out on the serene beach of Chusha. His days started like any other, with the soft hum of the ocean waves and the gentle whisper of the sea breeze as he cast his fishing net into the tranquil waters. But this day was about to take a turn he could never have anticipated. From afar, Chudong-tu began to hear the rhythmic beat of drums and the melodious sound of flutes. He saw a magnificent dragon boat approaching, its grandeur reflected on the water's surface. He could sense the anticipation in the air, the excitement of the boat's arrival, yet he had no idea who was aboard this majestic vessel. As the boat approached the shore, the beach transformed into a scene of bustling activity. Servants scurried around, their faces etched with a mix of joy and panic. The once tranquil beach was now a hive of action, and Chudong-tu found himself in the middle of it all. In the midst of this commotion, Chudong-tu made a decision. He buried himself in the sand, hoping to blend with the beach and disappear from sight. He lay there, his heart pounding in his chest, his breath shallow as the flurry of activity continued around him. Unbeknownst to him, the dragon boat was carrying a royal passenger, Princess Tiandong. The princess, known for her independent spirit, decided to take a stroll along the beach. She ordered her servants to set up a curtain in a reed bush for her to bathe, oblivious to Chudong-tu's hidden presence. The servants poured water, and as it seeped into the sand, it gradually revealed Chudong-tu's body. He was discovered, his attempt at hiding completely thwarted. But as fate would have it, the princess was about to stumble upon a hidden surprise. How would you react if you found a stranger hiding in your bath? Imagine the astonishment of our Princess Tiandong as she prepared for a leisurely bath on the beach of Chusha. Intrigued by the tranquility of the area, she ordered her servants to set up a curtain in the reed bush for some privacy. Little did she know, she was about to stumble upon a surprise that would change her life forever. As the servants scurried to follow her orders, the air was filled with an air of anticipation. The curtain was carefully placed, ensuring the princess's seclusion, and then the moment arrived. Tiandong, at ease with the world, began to pour water for her bath. But as the water hit the sand, a strange phenomenon occurred. The sand began to shift, to move, revealing something, or rather someone, beneath the surface. There, hidden in the sand, was none other than Chudong-tu, the young man who had been fishing on the beach. Imagine his surprise, buried in the sand, as he suddenly found himself in the bathing area of a princess. And imagine Tiandong's shock as she realized she was not alone. But our princess was not a woman to be easily frightened. Instead of screaming or running away, she collected herself and decided to question this intruder. Who was he? Why was he there? And most importantly, why was he hiding in her bath? The conversation that followed was intense, filled with curiosity, surprise, and a touch of humor. Chudong-tu, startled and somewhat embarrassed, explained his predicament. He had heard the commotion of the approaching boat, and in his panic he had chosen to hide in the sand. And so the princess found herself faced with a surprising discovery. A stranger in her bath, a young man with a story. Unexpectedly, this strange encounter was about to take a romantic turn. What if the person you least expected suddenly proposed to you? Just imagine that for a moment. That's exactly what happened to Chudong-tu, a simple fisherman, and it's where our story takes an unexpected turn. Princess Tiandong, after discovering the concealed Chudong-tu, didn't react with anger or disgust. Instead, she responded with curiosity. She asked Chudong-tu about his life, his dreams, his fears. In the face of this unexpected encounter, she chose to embrace the situation, displaying a level of empathy that was truly ahead of her time. After hearing Chudong-tu's heartfelt tales of a simple life, Tiandong found herself contemplating a decision that would defy the norms of her era. This was a princess who was of age and had steadfastly refused to marry. Yet here she was, considering a proposal to a man who was not of royal blood, a man she had just met under the most unusual of circumstances. This was not a decision she took lightly. She weighed the societal implications, the potential scorn from her royal family, and the shock it would cause among her servants. Yet in spite of these factors, she was drawn to the authenticity and simplicity of Chudong-tu's life. She saw in him a chance for genuine happiness, a chance to break free from the gilded cage of her royal existence. And so, in a move that shocked everyone present, Tiandong asked Chudong-tu to be her husband. The surprise on Chudong-tu's face was evident. He, who had been hiding under the sand just moments ago, was now being asked to marry a princess. The servants, too, were taken aback. They had never imagined their princess would propose to a commoner, a fisherman no less. In an instant, Chudong-tu's life was transformed, and history was forever changed. And as for Tiandong, she had made a choice that would redefine her existence and write a new chapter in the annals of history, one that continues to inspire us even today. What does this story tell us about love, fate, and breaking societal norms? The tale of Tiandong, the eldest princess who refused to be bound by the shackles of societal expectations, and Chudong-tu, the humble fisherman, is one that has been told and retold over generations. Their story, their defiance of norms, is a testament to the power of love and the unpredictable hand of fate. Tiandong was not your typical princess. She was of age yet refused to marry, choosing instead to sail on her dragon boat, exploring the world on her own terms. This alone was a rebellion against societal norms of the time, where princesses were expected to marry and start families. Then there's Chudong-tu, a commoner who was just going about his day, fishing on the shores of Chusha. Little did he know that destiny had a different plan for him. The sound of bells and drums, the flurry of activity from the princess's boat, led him to hide under the sand, setting the stage for a fateful encounter. When Tiandong discovered Chudong-tu, it was a surprise that could have led to many outcomes. But Tiandong, true to her character, chose to listen to her heart. She asked Chudong-tu to be her husband, a decision that defied all societal norms. A princess marrying a commoner was unheard of, a scandal, a taboo. Yet Tiandong chose love over societal expectations, setting a precedent for future generations. Their story, their love, their defiance is a beacon that continues to shine brightly, reminding us of the power of love and the unpredictable nature of fate. It's a tale that has been passed down through generations, a testament to its timeless relevance. In a world bound by conventions, Tiandong and Chudong-tu's story reminds us that love knows no boundaries and fate has its own plans.